Good evening, Facebook. I am coming to you live from my rooftop, and I apologize already for the connection and the view because I left my computer at the office and realized that about 5 minutes after I posted that we were going to do live tonight, and I wanted to make sure that we stayed on schedule, so we are going live from my cell phone, which is a pain in the behind. If anyone has questions or feedback, we're obviously talking about a sensitive topic, so please feel free to send me private messages, message the office if there's something that we can help with. But I was watching TV last night, and they are releasing the documentary or the story that they're doing on Robin Williams, which obviously has a lot to do with his life and his accomplishments, but the focus on the end of his life is going to be there as well. With the recent rise in suicides, and I don't know any of you that are where you are on the topic, but suicide rates are up in the United States anywhere from 25 to 30% depending on your state. Very, very high in rural areas, which happen to be the western states, and they attribute a lot of that to financial reasons and the inability to access other people, and along with that goes appropriate health care. So that's what mainstream media is blaming suicide rates on. And I will tell you, this is only my personal experience, I am by no means an expert on suicide or an expert on mental health, but I am a wellness practitioner, and therefore my goal for all of my patients is mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being. And along with that, falling within that realm is how people are feeling emotionally connected to one another. And if we don't see a lot of that in individuals, we end up with higher suicide rates. So it's of course our goal to approach this from more of a chronic condition as opposed to a decision that individuals make that, is what do people say, that it's a short-term solution to a long-term problem. And it really is, suicide really should be looked at as a chronic condition and not just a one-time thing. What I've found in practice is that our societal health is much lower than it needs to be. Now, what does that mean? If you look at some of the healthiest areas in the world, the one thing that they have in common is that they have fantastic societal health. And that means that they support one another, and I'm not just talking having great Facebook fans or a lot of following. And I apologize for my video bouncing a little bit, but obviously I talk with my hands, and having one of them holding the screen is really a challenge for me. But societal health is real life support. So that doesn't mean liking somebody's picture. It doesn't mean necessarily sharing a post. But what it does mean is actually getting out and putting some action behind your words. So taking somebody to coffee, being there if they need something, responding in someone's time of need. That's what societal health is. And if you find yourself lacking in that, go out and join an activity. Now, whether that is joining a bowling league or going to a church group or a bridge club or getting a handful of friends together for a book club, which a lot of us know that is code for a million different things. It could be women hanging out together, it could be men getting together for a beer. There doesn't even necessarily need to be a book involved, but having that support of one another and having a group that you can join, and yeah, Nicole, absolutely, advocacy is key. Get out there and do something. Have a group of people that are your support system, and that is a huge, huge key to improving your societal health, number one, but your overall health, number two. And, if you look and you read, what is it? I don't know if it's Tipping Point, but it's one of Malcolm Gladwell's books. and he discusses societal health and how important that is. And the healthiest areas in the world that have this great societal health, you'll find them supporting one another. Like if somebody has a baby, and what happens? Everybody cooks and they let the mom sleep and they help to take care of the baby. Or unfortunately, if somebody passes away, you see the same thing. People are being supportive and they're cooking and they're supporting the family. You know, you see that a lot in the Jewish communities and Italian communities as well. You know, obviously I can speak firsthand from that. We celebrate everything with food, but you know, that's what we need, and that's what's really lacking. And to get, you know, somewhat personal on that societal health, and to make a full circle on my thoughts of, you know, suicide being a chronic condition, I would use my father as an example. My father had terrible societal health. He wasn't involved in activities. He did not have a good support system, at least that he realized. Did not have a good number of friends that he could call on if he needed something. If he wanted to share something personal, I was the one, you know, good or bad, that he talked to. So, and now, you know, for those of you that know me well, we lost my father a few years ago, and it was not, you know, suicide that you would think of. He didn't hang himself, he didn't shoot himself, but he made very poor health choices for a very long time. And to me, I would consider that suicide as much as I would someone that makes that short-term decision to do an action and end their life in the short term, as if they were pulling a trigger. And that may be something controversial, but all of us have the choice every single day if we're going to be improving our health and making healthy choices, and whether that's how we're eating, if we are emotionally healthy, if we are engaging in relaxation activities, if we are overeating, if we are taking advantage of different substances, you know, if you're exercising. If you're making those healthy decisions or not, you are either contributing to your health and well-being on a positive note, or you are slowly committing suicide. And that's how you need to look at every decision that you make. And I hope that for some of you, you know, and by no means am I a saint, by no means do I make perfect decisions 150% of the time, but I am very well aware of when I am making a healthy decision, or when I'm possibly doing something that's not in my best interest or in the best interest of my health and wellness goals. I have an 18-month-old son. I'm an older mother, and if I want to be around for him, if I want to be around to see him graduate college, you know, I mean, I'll be 60 almost when he's graduating college. If I want to see him get married, and if I want to see my grandchildren, you know, I better keep myself in gear. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of us don't look at our health goals like that. You know, I can definitely tell you that there's nothing that my father wanted more in the entire world than grandchildren. And he missed Parker by about 6 months because of his poor health choices. And so hopefully all of you out there, and I apologize for being a little bit emotional on this topic, but I hope that you take a minute and you look at the choices that you're making. And maybe you don't want to get up at 6 in the morning and go for a walk. Or maybe you don't want to spend that extra half an hour cooking dinner, and it's so much easier to go through the drive-thru. Or you're running the kids to 15 different activities. Think of those kids and think of the example that you want to set for them. And believe me, you do not want it to be eating McDonald's and being stressed out and being anxious or being depressed. So, you know, take a few extra minutes and make thanks, Nicole. Take a few extra minutes in your day and plan out how you want it to look, so that you are setting that awesome example for your kids, and you're there to see your grandchildren, and you're there to go through all these activities and to dance at your 50th wedding anniversary. Those are some of the things that you should be looking for, and that's what you should have in mind when you're planning your dinner, or you're planning your activities for the day, or you're planning out your week. Put it on your schedule. So this has gone on a little bit longer than I thought it would, since I had to do it, and it is literally the easiest thing to do in the entire... I don't know if you're losing me because of poor connection, but it's telling me that. So I want everybody doing a gratitude journal, and what that is to literally get a piece of paper and a pen and write down 3 things every night that you're grateful for. And I know that you have 3 things, even if it's the fact that you made it through the day. You know, you woke up that day, you finished strong, and you're going to bed. So those might be your 3 things. It might be how excited you are about a new job. It might be that you met somebody. It might be that you saw a puppy walking down the street. You know, everybody has something. So write down 3 things that you're grateful for. If you get in that habit and you do it routinely, it is actually as beneficial to your health as working out every day. Now, I'm not telling you that you shouldn't work out, but start doing the gratitude journal and you'll see an improvement in all of your health. You'll see an improvement in your mood, your physical health, you know, who knows, maybe your weight, your waistline, we'll see. But get started on that right away. The second thing that I wanted to leave everybody with is a breathing exercise. This is so simple. We have to breathe. Most of us breathe wrong. So I want everybody right now, while you're watching, we're gonna all do this together. So you're gonna take a deep breath in for a count of 4. Then you're gonna hold it for a count of 4. You're gonna exhale for a count of 4. You're gonna hold that for a count of 4. Now I'm very visual, so I think of this like a box. So go ahead, we're gonna inhale, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna hold it, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna exhale, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna hold that, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the goal with that, it's relatively easy. If you're finding that you're taking short breaths, try, and this is difficult for me to demonstrate with my phone, but I want you to make sure that you're breathing from your belly, that you're not breathing from your chest, which is what most of us do. So again, I want you to take a deep breath from your belly. You should feel your belly expand. If you got your Spanx on or you're working out, try this at a later time. But this should be something that you can do during the day. You should run through at least 4 rounds of this on a routine basis. You can do it at work, you can do it at home, you can do it in the car. Start getting in the practice. So if you're feeling anxious or you're feeling depressed or you're feeling angry, take a minute, run through your breathing, and see how you feel after. It's fantastic for your health. You'll improve how you're feeling again. You'll decrease pain with this. I apologize if I'm coming in and out, but again, I am reporting from my rooftop, so we get the internet up here that we get. So I hope that some of the information I had tonight was beneficial. Start doing your gratitude journal, start doing your breathing exercises, and I want you to think of every choice that you make on a daily basis is either moving you closer to your goals of health, wellness, longevity, or taking you further away from those goals. And again, our suicide rates in the United States are rising exponentially, you know, and there's a reason for that. It's not bad luck, bad genes, bad choices. It's a culmination of all of the choices that we make over our life, our circumstances, the antecedents, what sort of laid the foundation, different experiences that we may come across, and then life choices that we're exposed to. So I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. I apologize for the seriousness of the topic tonight, but I wanted to address it. I hope that the exercises are beneficial. Make sure that you do your homework for the next week. And love you all. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.